Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining sponsor special session, JPR's information dissemination activities and the latest topics on DNS in Japan. The speaker is Yasuhiro Orange Morishita, JPRS expert, public relation technology chief instructors. He sometimes is called by his nickname Orange. Started his career as a Unix system engineer and a network operation in 1988. He operated JUNET gateway site of his company and joined WIDE project in 1990. As a WIDE member, he participated constructing of Japanese internet from its inception. In 1993, he started working for Tokyo University of Science and involved construction of the campus network and operating workstations and servers for education. In 1998, he joined Japan Network Information Center, JPNIC, and administrated JP registration system and JP DNS servers and moved to a Japan Registry Services, JPRS, upon its establishment and acted as a DNS researcher. Since 2007, he has been working as technical public relation of JPRS by making use of his experience. And since 2021, he has also been working as an instructor in education and training center of JPRS for developing human resources. Okay, Mr. Orange-san, every year.
Hi. Today I will introduce the JPRS information dissemination activities and the latest topics on DNS in Japan. So the first slide. So this is just my self-introduction. Is also talked by introduced by the Fujimoto-san. And so the main job is expert at the public relations on domain name and DNS technologies. And so instructor since 2021. And formerly system and network engineer and DNS researcher. And then our company, what is JPRS? The Japan Registry Services Company Limited, so established in 2000. So our service mainly domain name registration and administration and DNS operation. And so since 2016, issuing server certificates as a certificate authority. And research and development of internet technologies. So the especially the Dr. Fujiwara-san, and contributing to the internet policy development. So especially Hotta-san and Takamatsu-san, and so on. And details of our domain names and DNS services, domain name registration, JP domain name as a registry operator, and 17 TLDs, mainly GTLDs as a registrar, and 2 GTLDs as a registry service provider, and DNS operation, JP DNS server, and mRoot DNS servers. So operation of mRoot DNS servers is in collaboration with WIDE project, and that entity and that Sakura TLD authoritative DNS servers as a registry service provider. And my today's talk is here. This session will introduce our information dissemination activities and the latest DNS topics in Japan. This session is also primarily aimed at network operators and engineers, but does not require detailed DNS knowledge. And contents, we have two parts of content. And first is a JPRS, is information dissemination activities. And second is the latest topics in DNS, on DNS in Japan. So details of subdomain takeover and NS takeover security incident. The first, this is the first part. JPRS disseminates technical information related to domain name and DNS in various ways. So official websites and social media, booklets, emails, books, and exhibition booths and presentation is here. So we have two motivations. And first is outreach and Japanese DNS community and including DNS operators and our business partners and the other people who need the information. Then second motivation is easy to understand. We disseminate the information in Japanese. Japanese is our local language. So I will introduce some of our websites. This is the 4 web pages. First is a DNS-related technical information. Technical information of DNS-related technologies, security advisories, including buying and major DNS software, and update information of DNS software, and technical notification, like so the root zone KSK rollovers, and so on. And presentation materials, so and vouchers. And Japanese, and so we published a Japanese translation of DNS-related RFCs. So 55 RFCs already been published. And this is a right side of this is one of the example. RFC 1034 is also basic concept of the domain name system. And domain name related information. Reports of domain name and DNS related conferences. So especially the IETF meetings and ICANN meetings and so on. And the topics and columns is explaining the DNS related topics in one A4 size sheet for distributing at technical conferences and events. And so we publish domain name important news and on every December and publishing 5 important news items and their commentaries related to domain name and DNS. And next is also learning domain name and DNS in a fun way. So this is introducing my booklet, Ponta's Great Adventure in the Network. So this is a manga booklet explaining domain name and DNS mechanisms for students. So we distribute over 350,000 free copies distributed to schools as educational material. And we publish a PDF version and paper version, and PDF files free of charge. PDF files has 3 languages in Japanese and English. And so courtesy of the TWNIC translate and traditional Chinese on our web page. And I introduced two special websites. First is a Ponta's Internet Classroom. This is a content in the tutorial movies and check tests on fundamental mechanisms of domain name and DNS. So this is the same character and collaborating with our manga booklet. Second is a world journey through domain names. So this is also DS and so moving dynamically. And learn about the CCTLDs around the world. And check the names and characteristics of different countries and regions. And we published a glossary of terms and acronyms. So as you may know, and the domain name and DNS community uses thousands of specialized terms and acronyms. This is so many. And furthermore, their Japanese translations are not standardized. So we created this glossary to help explain what these terms mean. And we published 255 entries, and including APAN. We already have APAN entries. So this is our description of APAN. APAN, upper is in Japanese on our website, and this lower is a translation of ちょっと読みますと、日本語で、アジア太平洋高度研究情報ネットワークの略称、1997年に発足したアジア太平洋地域を結ぶ学術ネットです。日本、米国、韓国、タイ、香港、シンガポール、インドネシア、フィリピン、オーストラリアなどの間でネットワークを相互接続していますと、こう書いてありました。で、in English, abbreviation for Asia Pacific Advanced Network, an academic network using the Asia Pacific region that was launched in 1997. The network interconnects Japan, the United States, South Korea, Thailand, Hong Kong, Singapore, Indonesia, the Philippines, Australia, and other countries' regions. Is this correct, Shimojo-san? Oh, very good. Oh, so other countries and regions. And social media, we have official accounts in X and Facebook and YouTube. So for promotion of our activities and updates. So and in YouTube, movie archives from past technical conference and events. This is some kind of a short presentation, right side. So this is a 5-minute presentation in the Journal 49 meeting in 2002. This is also during the COVID-19, and this is an online exhibiting. And left is also official X posting. So JPRS is proudly sponsoring APAN59. And emails. So we have official mail magazine and weekly messages about domain name and DNS. And we are posting, announcing to technical community mailing lists. So some Japanese people calls me Chofuko-ji-san. So this is a multi-posting. So is the Janon and DNS ops and other technical mailing lists, especially bind security advisory is published. And books. A textbook for understanding DNS well is we published in 2018, and so this is a book explains DNS mechanisms from basics for beginners and engineers. So we published, and so this is also bestseller, one of the bestsellers, and also technical book. So over 2,500 copies and sold and 10 reprints. And this is also the Korean translation was published in 2021. And title is so I had to read this, and so I don't understand Korean, sorry, and so I simply copy paste it. So, but so last three letters means kyo, kwa, sho is a textbook. And exhibition booths and presentations. So we are exhibiting booths and making presentations at major technical conference and events. So Interop and general meetings, Internet Week and DNS Summer Day, and so on. So left is a mini seminar at Interop Tokyo, and middle is a exhibition booth at general meeting, and right side is a lunchtime seminar at Internet Week. So left is me, and right is Mr. Kumagai, and so the younger guy of the technical guy. So and information sharing with our business partners. So we call the 指定事業者 call as designated business partners. So we have about 600 entities and contract with us and provide respective services to their customers. So we have various types of services: JP registrar and GTLD reseller and server certificate intermediary. And we held the JPRS partners meeting every year. And main contents, we have three main contents, and first is hot topics in each industry and their impact in our services. First is the domain name and DNS, and second is the server certificates, sometimes called Web PKI ecosystem. And second is the service updates since the last meeting. And third contains a description of future service revisions. So this is a summary of the first part. JPRS is information dissemination. Is provide DNS-related information in various ways, and our motivation is wide and easy to understand. And this is a three important outreach. And I will begin the second part, the latest topics on DNS in Japan. So details of subdomain takeover and NS takeover, a security incident. And this is also broadcasted on NHK TV News. NHK is the sole public media organization of Japan, very famous. And left is NHK News 7 on 9 January 2025. And right side is NHK Midday News, so at noon, on 10 January 2025. And this is a translation. So left is exclusive. Some sites of central government ministries and agencies at risk of unauthorized use. Right is MLIT. MLIT means Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. In Japanese, 国土交通省. And MLIT site was tentatively used for online casino advertisement. So right side of the incident is occurred in November of last year. And what is GeoJP? So GeoJP is one of the domain name, JP domain name types. And we have 9 subdomains under the JP domain name: AC, AD, CO, ED, GO, GR, LG, NE, OR. And so we had a geographic type, but it's a new registrations closed. And right side is an example of them. And we launched the general use, so registration in the second level in 21. So 21. And the prefecture type is so called in Japanese 都道府県型 JP domain names. Example, Tokyo JP, and Tokyo is so IDN International Kanji domain names. Kanji and katakana and hiragana is available. Can be registered. And the details of the incident. Some GeoJP domain names were arbitrarily used by unauthorized users after use. So after use is very important. So, and victims are subdomains of each organization. So, for example, there are 2 compromised sites. Left is Kyufukin Somu GeoJP. So Kyufukin means a benefit payment. And Somu GeoJP means the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. And right side is so Daitoshi MLIT GeoJP. And Daitoshi means a big city, and MLIT GeoJP is the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. They had been used by limited time only websites. These websites were closed due to the end of their terms. Left is a website for special cash payment during COVID-19 by Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. 特別給付金というやつです。で、right side is a website for public transport survey by Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. これは大都市交通センサスというやつでしたね。2 types, but don't confuse, but there are 2 types of reuse for domain names after use. First type is re-registration, including drop catching. So it's registering expired domain names after being released. And second type is subdomain takeover and NS takeover. It's gaining access under the remaining DNS resource records. So in this case, victim domain names were compromised by subdomain takeover and NS takeover. So in this talk, and I will focus on them. So the second types. And details of subdomain takeover and NS takeover. Their target is a remaining CNAME resource records and NS resource records set up by the domain name owner to create subdomain. And the attacker does not have privilege to control these RRs. so simply reused. It's a difference from domain name hijacking by compromising registration data. This is an example of the CNAME and NS. So CNAME and NS details of this. By CNAME called aliasing. So this is a campaign.example.go.jp in CNAME cdn.example.net. So this is a example of the campaign example GeoJP is alias to cdn example.net. And second type is the NS. NS realized the delegation. So campaign example GeoJP in NS, NS99 example.net and NS99 example.org. So this means a campaign example GeoJP is delegated to NS99 example.net and NS99 example.org. So APA is using the CDN service, and LoWa is some kind of the DNS service and cloud service, like so Amazon's Route 53. This is explains of the purpose of aliasing and delegation. So sometimes we use to apply external CDN service and managed DNS services to specified subdomain. So left is a upper domain, domain name owner, and register subdomain to CDN provider and alias. So this is a procedure. This has 4 procedures. First is a contract with CDN provider to get privilege of campaign.example.geo.jp and create campaign.example.geojp web server instance and add CNAME resource record to create subdomain and install web content of campaign.example.geo.jp website. This is a website is created. And so the this is an important technical term, dangling records. When the website is closed, a domain name owner must delete or change CNAME resource record and NS resource records that have been set. But if these RRs are remained, they become dangling records. So dangling record is yellow CNAME record. This is a potential risk of subdomain takeover and NS takeover. This is a diagram for the takeover the target subdomain. Create campaign example GeoJP web server in the same CDN provider is here. And install inappropriate web content. So this is a unauthorized user. This is a procedure details. First, unauthorized user finds an attackable dangling record. And second is a contract with the same CDN provider to get privilege. And third step is a create a web server instance. And fourth procedure is install inappropriate web content. The unauthorized user, so how find the methods of the targets? finding methods. So how find the targets? And dangling records can be found by DNS scanning. Free and fast scanning tools are available on GitHub and so on. So this is so good defense tools for domain name owners, but good attack tools for attackers. And domain name of working websites. So during working, it's easy to find. Attackers can find the candidate of dangling records during the websites in operation. And attackers can wait for them to become dangling records. I will introduce the mitigations and measures. So these are the two types of mitigations and measures for domain name owners and for service providers. First is a mitigations for domain name owners. Delete, change CNAME resource records and NS resource records. It's very important. But so sometimes domain name owners have forgotten deleting. And so run effective DNS scanning tool on their website periodically. And so some CDN and DNS providers have published useful tools and documentation. And follow the mitigations measures for service providers. I introduced three mitigations and measures for service providers. The first is a domain name ownership validation on service providing. Perform domain control validation, so DCV, like CAs. And some CDN providers required server certificate submission before making. So unauthorized user try to register campaign.example.gojp, but the CDN provider makes it error. And second types of the mitigations and measures for service providers. So this is a deletion, during deletion. So check deletion of related errors. So this example is a CNAME record, a deletion check, service termination. So domain name owner try to service termination, but CNAME is remaining and CDN provider makes it error. And this is the third types of the mitigations. So use domain names that cannot be reproduced as the target names. So some CDN and DNS services have used randomly generated labels. So for preventing the reproduce. So upper example that is some kind of the CDN service. And lower example is some kind of the DNS service. And I introduced the response of the government of Japan. So this is a very important incident. And the digital agency has indicated that we'll consider revising the guidelines to press conference on 14 January. So this is Taira Masaki, and Minister of the Digital Transformation. This is an online press conference. So because management of Japanese government domain names are stipulated in the domain management guidelines under jurisdiction of the digital agency. This is a quote from the press conference. This lowers the original text and uppers the reference translation. So the red letters is important. The domain management guidelines related to the development and discontinuation of websites. So discontinuation is very important. And we are considering revising the guideline to specify concrete measures. And follow our actions. So we disseminated technical information of this incident in various ways. So we consider that this incident is very important and must be must disseminate and published and distribute a simple A4 size voucher and published a security advisory. This is the technical details. And respond to interview by media and provided information at technical conferences. This is our A4 size voucher. So sorry, in Japanese only, but key point on making. So this must be read the system administrators and managers. So then we avoid writing technical terms on the top half. Top half is a simple example, and a simple description of procedures and what we want domain name owners and what we want service providers simply. So this is a PDF and paper versions are available. A PDF version is for publishing on our website, and paper version is for distributing at events. And published a security advisory. So this is advisory for DNS operators in Japan. So when the manager read this paper, and so the manager commanded to their members to read this. And content is here, technical details, mechanisms, effects, mitigations measures, and reference link out to our voucher and our related materials. And responded to interview by media. So we offered from Nikkei Crosstech, one of major technical media of Japan, and published as a news article on website and paper magazine. The left side is a news article on website, and right side is a paper magazine, a Nikkei network, March 2005. And provided information at technical conferences. So we exhibit the booth at Jan 55 meeting and displayed in A1 size, big size panel, and distributed A4 size vouchers previously described. And we will continue to provide information at other technical conferences and events. This is a summary of the second part and details of subdomain takeover and NS takeover. This is not a new technical, not a new attack technique. So this is a very old, and the current is exist. and triggered under the remaining DNS resource records called dangling records. And remaining CNAME and NS resource records after service termination. So then we need to be careful differences of other similar attacks. Re-registration and including drop catching and compromising registration data. This is very different. Two types of mitigation and measures. Mitigations for domain name owners and service providers. For domain name owners, delete change is very important, and check. Delete change check. And for service providers, ownership validation, deletion of the related resource records, and use domain names that cannot be reproduced. And this is the last slide and summary of this session. In the first part, I introduced our information dissemination activities on behalf of JP Domain Name Registry and the DNS expert. And in the second part, I described the technical details of the latest security incident on government domain name called go.jp in Japan, and known as subdomain takeover and NS takeover. And last, we hope this session will provide you to the understanding of our activities and the latest topics on DNS in Japan. And that's it. Thank you for attending.
Thank you very much, Orange-san. Is there any question on the floor? You?
I'm Katsuko Kobayashi from Riken. So I have a couple of questions. One for you are explain government domain name takeover topics. And that such kind of the trouble happen on other countries or specifically in Japanese government only?
So this is I believe that this is not local, but global. And so in 2021, the iPhone scam is so widely deployed. It's in the worldwide, and so this subdomain takeover technique used by the used by the stepstone. So used by stepstone of them.
Okay. Yes. And you already explained my answered my second question. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please turn on this mic switch. Mic switch.
Hello? Okay. Yeah, it works. Yeah, I'm Bao Junliu from Tsinghua University, and it is a very, very important topic. Thank you for your talk. I have two questions. The first question is that did you have identified or did you have detect that dangling domains or dangling records that has already been hijacked? Did you have detect that dangling records that are already been hijacked by attackers? Sorry?
Sorry.
You mean I repeat it? Okay.
So So I explained so the for domain name owners, and so they are using the domain check tools, some kind of the
Yeah.
check tools of this. And for the attacker side is so scanning and oh, oh.
Yeah, I want to know that is there any malicious activities that is ongoing abuse this kind of dangling records in the real world. I want to know this kind of yeah. Is there any?
So
Yeah.
this is so the second explained the so finding method of the targets, and so during in operation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
during in operation is so the so we can detect so using CNAME or using NSs, and so the and some kind of the so loose CDN using the loose DNS providers and loose CDN services, and so the detect and wait for them to the termination. So then after the termination is recreate the CDN provider.
Yeah, it is a method. It is a method that how to detect this kind of dangling domain. I want to know that is there any some malicious activities are abusing this kind of dangling domain?
やっぱスキャニング
It's about the result. It's about I don't know.
ないですね。それは。So, the domains that is so already compromised is
Yeah.
so hard to find. So this is triggered by the malicious activities.
Yeah.
So like so some other kind of the takeovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so very very hard to find.
Thank
So
you.
very hard to find is very important.
Yeah, thank you.
そうそう取られたものは見つけにくいですね。ありがとうございます。Thank you. Other questions?
Okay. And could you improve this presentation materials, adding, references of them? But you are talking about Japanese cases, but in a general sense, all the global problem. You had better add the references concerning these activities.
Okay.
And
Okay, I will.
Post. You can post the improved material later.
Yeah. So I will add them after this slide. じゃあつけたやつを送りますので。
Or any other comments and question? The floor? No? Okay, thank you very much, Orange-san. Thank you very much.
Thank you.